And the bottom left in the red, taking down Cure 2-0. No, sorry, taking out Special 2-0 to get here. It's Byun. In the upper right, in the blue, this one, he took down Cure 2-0 to get here. It's Dark. All right, so I don't know. Byun is not a player I think of when I think of Ghost Control. Now, his name used to be Ghost King. He used to be Ghost King Prime back in the day, and his Ghost Control was very good, and still is very good. But I don't think of Byun as a Maru-esque TVZ player. I'm sure he's very good. He is very good. He almost took down Dark last season, the GSL, in a very good, fantastic way. But, well, he kind of has struggled with wrist problems in that series. Anyway, point being, Byun is a much more aggressive player. He loves his 2-racks. There was an APT about a month and a half ago, where Byun and Dark ran into each other in the finals, and he 2-racks 3 times in a row, lost in a grand total of 7 minutes. And that was that. It was like, okay, no, sorry. The VOD was 12 minutes long. 9 minutes long? Anyway, it was ridiculously short. It was 3 2-racks in a row. Dark scattered every single one. He pulled the drones, he killed it off. It was just like, up. Bippity boppity. Your championship is my property. And then, of course, Byun came back on his birthday and made something happen. But now, Reaper on the other side of the map, so we're not going to see a Marine opening from Byun in this game. No greed into, say, some sort of weird Hellbat timing. That build Cure used in game 1 was so weird. But anyway, now, good grenade, but a little bit too soon. Oh, it's off creep. Oh, he gets it. Well done there, Byun. He gets a drone early, and he does not lose his Reaper for it. Now, that you should never lose a drone at this point, but Byun's Reaper Micro is fantastic, especially, by the way, if you commit to 6 lings. It's one of those things, 4 lings, losing a ling, you really don't want to lose a drone, but losing a ling is acceptable. Losing a drone, though, not really. So, actually, if you have 6 lings, excuse me, even losing a ling doesn't really feel all that great, because you've already cut a drone to get those 2 additional Zerglings. But look at this. Byun, as he, I assume, hits Dark with the tremendous BM. In this game, number 1, Byun's going for 3 CC, and okay, part of it is probably inside now. I think Dark may expect a push, so he's going to play a little less greedy. But I almost wonder, as we have started to see just TVZ go super late game as of late. That just has been the way the game's been going. I almost wonder if it makes sense to start to see Zergs go back into 2-base Spire. Now, 2-base Spire is horrendous against the 2-racks, or a lot of early pressure. But if it's against 3CC, it is fantastic. Or even Banshee play, really. Because both those delay the Marine production to just enough that there's not going to be a push knocking on your front door right around the same time that the mutants pop out. Although in this case, it's going to be a TY 2-on-1. So it wouldn't necessarily be all that great here, especially as quick as inside and out is, as short as inside and out is. And by the way, folks, when I say TY 2-on-1, I mean it's a 3CC play. You get 2 to 4 Hellions. You don't get a lot of Hellions, but you get just enough to be active on the map and maybe give the idea that there are going to be more. But, oh, okay, never mind. 3rd barracks on the way. Just a little bit different. I guess it's not TY 2-on-1 anyways. Never mind. That 2nd barracks comes down a little bit faster. But okay, there we go. Yeah, Byun just getting ready to move into the mid game right now. And anyways, as we talk about this, as the Overlord will fall, as we talk about this idea, right? Okay, why don't we see 2-base Spire? Because it strikes me as something where Terrans have been getting greedier and greedier to just put themselves in the late game faster and faster, putting it like into that 5-6 base mass ghost style of late game, because that really has always been the thing, right? Zerg gets into late game faster, but their late game is just not as good, particularly against Terran. Now, Dark played a fantastic couple late games against Cure. He brought games back that he really, most other Zergs would probably have lost. But anyway, I don't really know why we don't. Going 2-base Spire just makes sense to me, considering the prevalence of 3CC or Banshee openings. But I guess, well, even Hellbat, you can hold Hellbats actually fairly decently. You don't have as many Queens, but you don't have as many spots to defend either. Anyway, Byun just sharking around the map here. He's looking for whatever he can find. And he's going to run forward. He missed the creep tumor. He kills a queen. Damages a queen instead, but that queen will not die. And 1-1 is on the way. And quick spire here from Dark. Well, actually, no, or not even quick spire. Excuse me. Decently timed lair from Dark. He's getting that 5th hatch as he adds on the 4th as well. So this is just how Dark plays ZVT. It's really just how he's been playing for quite a while now. Where he says, "Yeah, I got to go 5 hatch. I'm going to get a lot of lings. I'm going to get a lot of banes. Eventually, I'm going to move into my tech." Normally, it's been lurkers. He's played some ultras, but normally it's going to be into lurkers. Really, the question though is how quick are his upgrades? He's played quick upgrades, delayed lair. He's played delayed lair, quick upgrades. Or quick lair, slow upgrades. There we go. I just said the same thing twice. It's fine. But Byun now getting active on the map. Baneling speed at a really nice timing. Dark is... The amount of times I've seen a Zerg lose because they forgot Baneling speed, maybe not Dark, because Dark is Dark, but in general, the amount of times we've seen, that happen. It's just very sad. But Byun actually breaking these rocks down, and that's somewhat interesting to me. This is if you set up, I mean, he doesn't have tanks, but if you kind of set up a 2-stage push behind that, I guess it's not close enough to the base to really be all that useful. So Byun setting up a quicker rally here. Is he going to try to run through? A lot of creep does go down, as well as an overlord. 2-2 though, about halfway done. Baneling speed halfway done. That's the really big upgrade here. You don't really even need 1-1 for the first push. It's all about really that Baneling speed. So you can make contact with the Marines and knock them down. But Byun, he wants to make this push happen before Baneling speed is done. So forward here, just a little bit more, but doesn't seem to have a scan to knock this creep down once again. But it's 1-1 now done. 2-2 on the way. Byun, at the very least, he's keeping himself ahead of the economy of his opponent, but he's not doing a great job of the creep spread denial, to be totally honest. He's got that one pocket that he's built up, but on the right and the left, I mean, he's going to deal with it now, but Dark has done a great job of building that forward, and despite how greedy Dark has been, this 5th base is well defended by creep, at least for the moment. So Byun stims right side, says, okay, I know that there is a hatchery there. Another scan drops. All this creep will now be removed. And this should be a dead 5th. It looks like, yeah, Dark's not even really going to bother with it. He's already expanding right upper left side. And Byun is now we're talking about, oh, well, Byun's not removing creep. Well, I guess caster curse, because he's doing a great job of dealing with it right now. Ling's Bane's come rolling on in, but Byun's going to kill a couple Lings, back the hell on out. 4th base on the way, as well as barracks 4, 5, or 6, 7, and 8, and 2nd factory as well. So Byun getting himself all set up here for the next level of play. Hellbat's actually trading really well. Surprisingly enough, Dark pulls the Banelings back and lets the Lings fight, which is just the most cost-effective trade that Byun is ever going to have. As into the main base he goes, looking for a little bit of damage, but no drones just yet. Target fire on the Banes. Good splits there from Byun. And he gets a couple workers. He's going to get 3. Does he get more? No, but he will get the Spore. That being said, the Spore gets the medevac, so Byun does not really find his way out, although the Banelings provide a really nice Sim City there. The Marines are going to kill a lot more Marines or a lot more Lings than they reasonably should have. But here's the thing, Dark, with all of his upgrades, with all the pressure that's been happening, getting really good splits here from Byun. His 2-2 is delayed. It's not really getting started, but here come Lings and Banes. Yeah, Byun's got to pick up from that one, and Mine is just going to sit there. As the drop returns back on the main base, looking for a little bit more workers. Byun trying to get Queens, maybe. Medevac does fall. Queens, plentiful transfuses where that came from. Some Marines, I feel like you just gotta target down drones. So 2 workers will fall. That's going to be about it. And Dark, it's crazy watching Lingbane players be up in supply. Like, that is just not how this matchup normally works. Is a decent one of my drag there from Dark. Second one, yeah, well done. Normally you see the Terran really starting to skyrocket in supply, and then it's like, well, you know, the Lingbane player is behind in supply, but their composition is super cost effective on creep, so it's fine. Look at all those. That's a lot of Burrowed Banes. That's enough Burrowed Banes to kill a clump of ghosts, and Byun is not there just yet. His 3-3, of course, is on the way. His Widowmine drop into this base, but good split here from Dark. Not really going to get much done. Oh, he got the Spore cancel too. Dark, you're sexy. But in the main base, Byun goes once again. A couple Spores here, but he just carpet bombs right on by. Now, it's going to be hard to get out, maybe, but Queen's going to get 1 medevac, but medevac going to kill a couple Queens in exchange. Oh, Widowmine's on the backside. Getting a lot here. Friendly fire on some of these Marines, but the Marines, they're still standing strong. A couple workers fall. Tons of Lings are now going down. Your Banelings looking for those connections. And right before they do, Byun picks up, runs away. Meanwhile, into the third base. Oh, Byun's starting to find value here. Oh, yeah, he will get the base, but he says, I want more than that one. He's going to get a bunch of Banes. He takes a little bit of damage there, but more Hydras dying as well. Byun now really starting to put the pedal to the metal in this game number 1. The style of Terran, the style of TVZ that makes us all happy. It's multitasking, it's dropping, it splits. It's not just kind of turtling in the late game and winning with ghost play, which is, yeah, valid and very good. Maybe the best way to play TVZ at the moment, but This makes me happy. This sparks joy. Let's put it that way. Okay, the Widow Mines. Oh, the Bird Banelings. Oh, no. Oh, no, Byun. Is Dark paying attention? Oh, Dark absolutely has that one. Oh, okay. Oh, this is so smart. He only explodes a couple at a time, and now all the Marines are dead in this fight. It's only Marauders and Marauders against a bunch of Lings. I mean, good luck, Byun. It is not going to work out for him. Widow Mine shot. Oh, great drag is there. And this is such a turnaround here. This is such a great move from Dark. The stat, no one would ever, Widow Mine? Widow Mine? Oh, that's actually such a big Widow Mine right there. How much did it get? 18 Lings go down. So that's going to be a great job to reset the push from Dark. No one ever expects multiple sets of Banelings to go off. So Dark staggered it. He got a bunch of Marines in the first set. Byun said, okay, well, landmine's done. I'm okay. Second set goes off. Byun says, okay, it can't be a third. He gets the third as well. All the Marines in that fight were done. Nothing to really deal with the Lings. And now Byun moving forward. He's kind of pulled up Byun a little bit. His armor is slow, but he does have +3 attack on the way. It's going to be finished up rather soon. And Dark's creep spread is not all that exciting, to be totally honest. It's good. It's okay. It's not quite what you want if you are the Zerg player. So drop on the left side. Byun pushing through the right as well. Really just starting to multitask the hell out of Dark here. Can Dark stay up to date? Baneling, Widow Mines really don't get the best. They don't get the best trades here whatsoever. Byun, though, on the backside, he kills off so many of these Lings, and the Banelings are going to arrive. Hydra's going to arrive. So now Byun splits his way on back. All the empty medevacs go home. The full medevacs try to find their way into the main. This drop, not really getting a lot of drones, actually. But it is denying mining for quite a time, killing off a bunch of Lings as well. +3 attack on the way. Drop back into this base. The Byun is killed once. Will he get it again? It looks like he will. Hydra Bane arrives, but too little too late. Byun picks up once again. Oh, Byun is playing so gosh darn well this game. Really impressed, considering how well Dark has been playing in this matchup as of late. Byun will lose those medevacs. Unfortunate. 10 Marines go down. Oh wait, Byun got the base on the left side too. Was it just those 5 Marines? I think it was. Now Dark's a 3-base Zerg. He's got his 4th base going to get retake, but Byun has his 5th base on the way. He's sitting up about 40 army supply. He's got, well, soon to be 3-3. Right now it's only 3-2, but it is miles ahead of the upgrades of Dark. Dark has, oh, he does have 5. Okay. Does he have? He does not. He did not get Adrenal. He does have 5, so he will start to move into lurker upgrades, and that should slow the game down, but not by much. Because the ghost timing's already here. Byun has 4 ghosts on the way. His +3 armor is going to be done soon enough. And who knows? Maybe he would have won the game if he had +3 armor. But even still, the army moving forward. Marauders at the front to tank all the Banes. And Byun splitting backwards here. He's still kind of on creep, though. Big Widow Mine shots, though. And that, while it did do some friendly fire, is going to knock down so much of the army of Dark. His last shot now. Byun stimming forward here. Couple more Banelings in the fray, but the Hydras are undefended. Queens are doing what they can. Byun off. Oh, man. Such incredible multitasking. He takes game 1. In the bottom left, in the red, up 1. Can he make it 2 on Waterfall, the next Terran map? It's Byun. His opponent, the upper right, in the blue, down 1 map. But even being behind, he's never dead. It's Dark. There was someone asking about, Widow Mines, and well, as there's complaint about them. Honestly, I think Widow Mines are in a decent spot right now. They're hard to micro against. But if we compare them to Burrowed Banes require activation. I mean, yes, technically you can make it on auto cast, but you're just never going to get a good trade. Whereas a manually targeted Widowed Mine versus a Widowed Mine that's just there, yeah, manually targeted might get a little more, but you're still guaranteed a lot more damage. So it really, the APM cost of using Burrowed Banes versus Widow Mines is much higher for the Burrowed Bane player. Plus, Terrans like to scan a lot, so you got to be conscientious about where you drop the Burrowed Banes, or where you burrow your Banes. But Dark is open pool first in this game, so we're going to see most likely a 19 drone or a 19 drone roach timing, where you build a couple roaches, you run across the map, you try to make Byun upsetty spaghetti. And if Byun gets the scout on this, he's going to be happy. Now, this is a Marine opening from Byun, so that does open the door for Hellbat timing. Well, no, sorry, it's not. I always look at that first Marine coming. I'm like, it's a Marine timing, and then I don't look at the game clock. It's like, no. There's a Reaper on the map right now. And we're going to have to see whether Byun gets the scout off that he needs. Although, that being said, his pull first. And, oh no, okay. I thought we were going to see a Roach timing. I really and truly did. But Roach Warren not going down. I mean, I guess Dark could go for the 23 drone. Roach Warren, which is, he seems to be a big fan of. Is a good micro here. Byun gets a Ling. But no, it's just going to be third base. So I guess Dark was assuming Byun was going to 2-Rex him. Because Byun does like to do that a lot. Maybe not as much as Mario. Honestly, an EPT Cup's probably more than Mario. But Byun, I mean, I don't know why you... if I'm a Terran player, I don't know why I would roll the dice on a 2-Rex when this map is so good for me. Or in the words of Mario and Valencia, it's playable. It's probably the most playable map, but it's playable. Listening to pro players talk about map pools from the context of like, oh, you know, is this a Terran map pool? Is this a Zerg map pool? Or, you know, what's balanced, what's imbalanced? I mean, it'll never get as good as Innovation. All right, who would complain? It's like, yeah, man, Zerg is so imba. Meanwhile, Innovation is sitting at like an 85% win rate in the matchup. And like, did not lose to a Zerg until Sulky reverse swept him in the first GSL of Heart of the Swarm. It's Zerg Zimba, guys. I swear. I promise. But all right, it will be Hellbats after all coming in from Byun. And we're starting to see this Marine Hellbat timing become a little bit more popular. Now, Cure tried to do this to Dark in the series on Saturday in EPT Korea. Didn't really work out for him all that well, but how many queens are we at? It's 5 queens. We're going to have a 6th one here, 7th one maybe. One of the downsides of going pool first is you don't quite have as many queens because, of course, your natural is a little bit slower. Actually, is that true? Well, yeah, I'm actually not sure about that. Never mind, but certainly one of the disadvantages is your queen production is not really synced up here. But here come the Marines and here come the queens, or here come the Hellions, soon to be Hellbats. 6 queens on the field. You like to have 7, but we're gonna have to see what exactly Byun is able to get done with this. No Marauders means the queens can kite for days. Creep spread's certainly gonna get dealt with. We saw Cure play this in an incredibly non-committal way. He kind of moved in, he moved out, he didn't really do much, but we're going to have to see if Byun can do a little bit more as he finds his way into the natural. Look how he's doing such a good job of keeping this medevac alive for as long as he could. Spine is going to die. That's a good start. Queens, now they're starting to take a little bit of damage. They are put in corners. Now the Marines into the mineral line. Now the medevac's dead, and this is hell. It may take a moment, and we're going to have to keep stock of how many Lings die at the end, but we didn't see a single queen die. We did not see a single worker die, I don't think. Oh, okay, 1 worker died. This is hell, folks. Spire getting picked on up here. This is just... Dark's in a fantastic spot this game. Hellbats, not even once. I mean, I maybe understand the game theory. Well, you know, I went 3CC game 1, and now I'm going to go Hellbats, but Dark had him read like a book. He thought it was going to be 2-Racks, and, well, the 2-Racks didn't work out. He still expected something aggressive from Byun on this map, and I feel like the best play really is just you play standard. You you hit with your 3-base timing or even a 2-base push, and you steamroll forward, and your rush distance is so fast the Zerg can never hold a defense. But if that's the expected thing, if that's how this game normally goes, Hellion's looking for something, but there's I mean, okay, Dark did lose the spine, and he's got a second one here. That's, call it 6 workers worth of value, something like that. Yeah, that cost 6 drones, so that's something at the very least from Dark. That maybe Dark, or something at least that Byun had that maybe Dark would have not liked to spend. But 4th and 5th barracks on the way. 3rd base done. I mean, it's not on location yet. It's not mining, but it's building an orbital. And we're gonna have to see how much value Byun can find in this game because he's gonna get a queen. He's gonna get a queen. That's nice. But for the most part, Byun cannot really leverage any or levy any effective value on the map right now, or any effective pressure on the map right now. So Dark, he's free. He's got his 4th base on the way. He's got his 5th hatchery as well. 1-1 baneling speed, everything that a young, happy, up and coming Zerg could want. Although I guess he's none of those. Dark is looking scary right now. Steryl's run through Home Story Cup was impressive, but honestly, I think Dark's looking even better with that Valencia win, knocking down the Rainer that we were told could not literally, or knocking down the Mario, I guess, that every Zerg says if he goes past 20 minutes in a game, he's unkillable. You cannot kill him. You will lose that game. And Dirk said, "Hot, try me." To the point where Mario felt like he had to be aggressive. And yes, it was a 7-game series. It was super close, and I very much enjoyed it. I think we all did. But Dark is just looking so terrifying. And you talk about other things, other good games. I'm kind of sad. So I woke up this morning and I had convinced myself that GSL finals were today. On Monday, because GSL is always on Monday, but GSL finals are on Friday because it's at a different stadium. So I woke up expecting to be able to watch the GSL final VOD with lunch, and then I couldn't, and I was very, very sad. Byun pushing into the middle of, or on the north side of the map here, trying to knock this 4th base down. He knocks a lot of creep down, actually. Good target fire. Banelings, he loses a Marine, but that's really going to be fine for the most part. Tanks sieged up here as well. Hellbats run forward. This is not the easiest position for Dark to break, but notice what Dark is doing. He's, well, is that a flank or a run by? We're going to have to find, have to find out. For now, Dark understands that the benefit of this map, really, if you're a Zerg, is you can run by super quickly. And that's how we see this game end for a lot if the Terran loses. They get hit by a lot of stuff. As now here comes the push going forward. Dark taking that opportunity for Banelings to roll by. That mineral line is dead. 7 workers, 8 workers go down. Byun on the other side of the map. He's not really microing just yet. The tanks are going to fall. Byun, he's taking losses. Big L's, big fat L's on both sides of the map here. Loses 8 STVs, loses that push, and well, now Dark happily on 4 bases. 5th base is on the way, but the next round of push, next round of pressure coming in from Byun. +2 mech attack. He's really leveraging. I mean, you get a quick armor, you get mech attack. But he's really powering up his tanks at this point. He's knocks down creep once again, pushing north side. But as long as Dark can reset this tank count, it's a lot easier for him to take the fight. So Dark says, you know what, I'm pretty confident with my queens and my lings and my hydras and my banes to be able to take this fight. So big run by into Byun's 3rd base once again, Byun trying to leverage that pressure, but he can't. Because lings with 1-1 and with not enough Marines here, they're going to cancel this 4th base. Oh no, okay. No, they will cancel. Yeah, that's a problem. But Byun pushing through, is trying to make something happen. Looks like the Hydra Queen is going to have to run back for the moment. Spine actually doing a lot here, but Byun will be able to break the 4th base. Luckily for Dark, he's got another base elsewhere. Byun, this 3rd base has been broken. I think, yeah, the 3rd command or the 4th command center was canceled as well. So Dark just needs to buy his time. I mean, he has shut down the economy of Byun so gosh darn well. No, he did not kill the orbital. So at least this is triple orbital Byun. And by the way, this is a very quick lurker den. Normally you drop lurker den with Hive getting started, so you get the upgrades. But Dark says no, I need lurkers earlier. And this is a gutsy this is a gutsy 12 o'clock base. Byun's army is still right there. All right, Burrow is on the way. We saw Dark use that to tremendous effect in game 1. Okay, so now Dark, he just wants to run across the map here, but Byun actually has a bit of an army. This high ground tank is going to be really nice, but Hydra going to have vision. Lings, Banes, they come rolling on in. Dark, his army supply is lower, but it is exactly where it needs to be. 23 workers will go down. Call it 30. The tank goes down as well. Everything Byun has had defensively. So he's going to run through, and he's going to kill the 5th base of Dark. But he has to get so much more. This is, I believe, going to be a dead command center here. So Byun finds his way to the natural. Baneling nest is done. The only banelings that wait a minute here. There are only 2 banelings on the map. Byun has actually a tremendous opportunity right now. 12 hydras are on the way. Tanks on the bottom side. Byun is he's not gonna choke this up. He's just trying to kill as many workers as he can. Lings come funneling on in. Byun, how good are your splits? They're not gonna be good enough. I feel like if he'd kept the choke there, he would have been fine, but he does get a base. He gets 32 workers. It's still not enough to reset the worker count. And he did lose a lot of tanks, but the Baneling nest is done. And that is something. Dark, though, he just buys a lot of hydras with it. He says, it's fine. I got hydras. I'll fight my Marines. It's okay. But, oh, okay, Byun did not lose the third orbital. I expected the hydras to kill that, but I guess enough reinforcements from Byun were able to force that back for the moment. Remember, these are +2 tanks, and they hurt. Question, though, is whether Byun feels comfortable dropping scans to try to make the push on this base, because he needs those scans. He needs the money. He needs the money to recoup the massive worker losses that he has taken as Lings find their way into the 3rd base once again. But it's only 5 SCVs this time, not nearly as much. And Byun actually found himself rather but headbutting up against the supply block here. But okay, this is a better position for Byun to push through from the high ground. Tanks are going to siege up right there. Baneling nest is done once again, so a couple banelings again do more. If Byun can force Dark, as Byun is like, he's just losing so many supply depots, pretty heavily supply blocked, and of course the Broodling to prevent the third base from ever going down. If Byun can kill this base, maybe, but with Lurkers being on and out, and Byun, he's only on 2-2. He does not have a Ghost. He doesn't really have the tech to deal with Lurkers all that much. And actually, a lot of this drop is... he's got significant supply locked up in that drop that is just kind of sitting in dead airspace. But looks like Dark will lose the 3 o'clock base. He looks like he's just giving it up once again. He's really just flowing like water around Waterfall. And he says, yeah, okay, well, you know what? You take one base. I got 2 more where that came from. And Byun does not want to run up this ramp. That is not good. He's not going to get a drop in the main base, not with 8 Hydras there, not with +1 on those Hydras too. And Byun is Dark is just doing such a good job of saying, Byun, I know what you got to do. I know what type of game you're playing. I just need to keep expanding. I need to just delay. Eventually, I'm going to max out. Eventually, I'm going to have a hive. Eventually, I'm going to have lurker upgrades and all these wonderful things. Eventually, my economy is going to win out. Your army may be scary right now, sure, and you may have done significant economic damage to me, but Dark's always on 4 bases. Yes, he's lost a lot of hatcheries this game. He's lost 3 hatcheries this game, but he's always on 4, always on 5 bases. And Byun's not now, of course, Byun not really building that many more SCVs. He's only on 38. He's probably going to lift his main base over to the 4th base at some point. Oh no, Byun, he's gonna YOLO onto the Hydras and he's just dead. Okay, well, game 3. Spotting the right side of the map here in the red, but also in the middle of the map. At least that's where he's going. It is Byun. In the middle left, in the blue, will he scout the incoming pressure? It's Dark. Oh. Apparently I've dropped every frame. StarCraft is starting to respond again. What the hell is happening here? All right. Okay, we're good. Thank you so much for the sub, Constant Mover. I have no idea what happened there. But we're good now. Dark just scout this off. Apparently the browser source that I use for my intros decided to absolutely shit the bed. But anyway, done with the 2 racks here. And we're going to have to see what exactly is happening. Now, drones have been pulled. Now, remember, folks, we can say this every time. The goal of a 2 racks is not to go and... is not to go and kill the natural anymore. It is all about killing workers. So 2 workers are going to go down. 3. Byun trying to find his way back into a corner. He's going to get 4, maybe. A couple more Marines go out. I feel like Dark has maybe overextended on this one a little bit, but it's only 4 workers going down thus far. There's a 2nd Marine getting added on in. Marines, we're going to be put in a corner. 5 workers die. SCV still stays alive. If you're Byun, I think you're happy with that. It's not 7. It's not game-ending damage. But it is a decent amount. So, at the very least, that's going to be enough to put us into the mid game. But Byun is actually building more Marines. He's got his command center on the way on the high ground, of course. These 2 Marines, or these 2 Lings, will prevent this SCV from going home. So that's going to be eventually a dead SCV. But Byun built a lot of Marines, and he's still building them out of the 2 racks here, which is interesting. Normally you just kind of float home, but he lost enough Marines that he says, I want to make sure that I have enough defensively I want to make sure that I have enough defensively to make sure that everything is okay. Has my stream died? Okay, we're good. All right, so Byun, his natural command center is now done. He's not on location just yet, but that's fine as the barracks do go home. And we got to point out, Byun is now, he's floating both barracks back home, which is not what you would normally do. Normally you kind of send one to scout, you send one to go and go back home and produce. So this does buy Byun more aggression earlier. Right? He doesn't have to build an extra barracks to make sure that he can do what he wants. And we're going to have to see what exactly this does turn into, because normally it's like, okay, well, I have a 1-1-1 behind this. I don't really need that second barracks. So is Byun going to be able to get the aggression that he's looking for? Is he going to be able to, well, knock down Dark on Data C before the map gets super late? Because I'm not convinced, as good as that Terran style is, I'm not convinced that anyone wants to face Dark on in the late game. We saw Kira do it. He actually took it in 5 games. He played a lot of excellent late game in EPT Korea, but Kira got 2-0'd early, just right now. So Hellions now diving in, knocking down as much creep spread as they can. And there we go. Ling is trying to do what they... Actually, this is a nice position here for the Hellions, but no, Byun, he wiggles his way into a worse one, and he gets all surrounded. Not a single drone dies. Speed finished right at the proper timing. The standard speed timing, of course, folks, 5:25. That's always when speed finishes. But Dark, his third base, not saturated. We gotta pay attention to the... everything we know about like timings by the clock is, of course, different because this is a 2 racks, and you can't really look at that in the same way. But Byun, 3 Marines at a time. He's got Stim on the way and Cloak finishing on up. So Banshees fly their way in. 6 workers, 7 workers. Wow, this is so much damage for the Banshees. Dark was just not prepared for this one at all. So we're going to have to see. I mean, 10 workers go down. Byun already got 6 workers from the 2 racks. Now, this Banshee is in a bit of a trouble. There are enough queens there defensively. And there we go. That Banshee is now going to find itself dead in the ground. But still, 13 workers have died. The queens are going to be able to force this Banshee out, and, well, let's give me something. But okay, here comes the push from Byun. He's actually forgotten his +1 armor for the moment. Now the bio comes stimming on forward. They're looking for what they can find. There are a lot of queens here, though. Baneling's morphing. Baneling speed. It's just it's not going to be relevant in this fight as the bio continues to stim forward. Baneling's they're going to morph, but Byun just targets them down with extreme prejudice. This 4th base cannot be allowed to stay alive here. A couple drones are going to die as well as now bio stimming in on top of these queens, doing what they can. But now the queens, they run forward. A couple queens will fall, but this push from Byun is sparkling. It's effervescent, and he's got a 3rd base behind it. He's on 56 workers. He continues to build the SCVs. Another macro hatch going to come under threat here. Dark's going to try to get that 4th base. Now the Banelings Byun has to pick up and run away just a little bit. But this push represents tremendous threat to Dark. I mean, the most important thing is now the queens are oh, hey, 1 queen will go down. He's going to get a 2nd. He does. Is he going to get the 3rd, though? No, he's not fighting Byun. Oh, that was a mistake. Not exactly what he wanted. He could have gotten a couple more queens or maybe some banes, but well. Dark has also forgotten his upgrades. He's only got +1 attack on the way. Alright, so now Byun into the third base, or actually it's the fourth base now of Dark. I guess the fifth base now of Dark. Is going to try to make something happen. But Byun is in a fantastic position in this game. He's gotten a lot of damage done to Dark. He canceled the fourth base, killed a lot of queens, taken down 22 drones. I mean, that being said, we saw Dark in similarly dire straits. Maybe not quite as similarly dire straits, but in dire straits in the Cure series, and he was able to clutch it out once he got into lurkers in the late game. But lurkers seem a ways off in this game. I mean, yes, there's the infestation pit down, but we have 9 hydras on the field. Dark's gas is just non-existent. Now he's gonna try to find his way back in, but if Byun can keep the pressure, and by the way, he has does he have an armory? He does. He's just forgotten to, too. He has the money for it. If he's going to be able to make that happen, then, well, Byun was going to be able to force this situation where Dark just does not have the gas to build the tech that he needs. But Byun feels a little reticent to get on a creep right now, so Dark will be able to get his Hive up at the very least. A couple more Baneleys morphing. +1 Hive getting started before 1-1 is done is trippy as hell. But Byun, he's adding on the additional barracks now, and really, in this style of, I would say, quick fourth base, and it still is fairly quick considering this is a 2 racks, is all about once you get up to 8 racks. And this is not 8 racks all in, but it's all about once you get up to 8 racks, once you get up to 4 bases, and can really start expanding your supply, start, most importantly, rebuilding your supply. Or reinforcing your supply once you lose it, so you don't have to be as careful about your trades. And then we're probably going to see Byun start to really go as multitasking heavy as he did previously. Now, I want to point out, lurkers are, I'm going to assume, are going to be the attempted saving grace of Dark in this map. But, because of how little gas he has, we do not see a lurker den going down with the Hive, or with the Hive about halfway done. So lurkers are going to be a good ways off as now Dark active on the map. I mean, his army is big, and he's got a big run-by setup on the north side. Bunch of Lings, bunch of Banes, a couple of Hydras too. But Byun keeping a lot of his army back. He's learned from Waterfall. He said, okay, well, Dark, I know when the going gets tough, the tough get running by into my base. So we're going to have to see how that one works out for him. Is Byun inside track on this base? He's going to look to stim and run away. Actually, it's just going to be canceled. The drone does not die. Byun targeting as much as he can, but he's going to be forced to lift this one on up. There we go. They get out. Mainly connecting on top of, like, 1 worker. That's going to be okay. Into this, I don't even want to know what to call this base, but middle right base, yeah, sure. Dark's gonna have that one canceled too, but Dark looks like he's gonna find a lot of this army. Byun, look at that target fire though. He gets so many Banes before he gets out, loses very few Marines. And Byun's micro, I mean, yeah, this game is starting to stall out a little bit. Dark has been able to secure the map, and part of the problem for Terran on Day to See is there's not like one spot you want to push into. There's not really one particular avenue that is more desirable to push into than any other. So from that perspective, you gotta really multi-prong it, and because the map is so big, it's really easy for the Zerg to just kind of expand wherever you're not and just play whack-a-mole with the hatches. I mean, it's just got to be so frustrating for Byun here. Lings are gonna deny this 5th base of Byun for a time. It's Byun again, looking to get some good target fire down. He gets out. Hydras do not have any attack upgrades just yet, but Dark is on 86 drones, and he does have a triple evo now. His upgrades are really starting to catch up here. Adrenal gland's just about done. And Byun again, he's pulling a Byun. 3-3 has been forgotten. Normally it's just, you know, Normally he just forgets armor, but he is totally neglected 3-3 at this point. That being said, he's building 4 ghosts at a time. His gas count is not really all that nice. His parasitic bombs are going to kill 2 of those medevacs. I think the fullest of Marines did get out though, so that's fine. But Ark now flush on cash. Sitting here on 104 drones. He's building. I gotta assume this is gonna be for a lot of stacked divinity. He's going up to 105 drones. This is such a heavy economy coming out from Dark. But anyway, securing this position, whatever you want to say, he's got Broodlords on the way. It's gonna be a lot easier for him to secure those Broodlords. It's gonna be a lot easier for him to afford those Broodlords. As now Byun has realized, okay, I kind of need my upgrades here, but he's built more stuff before he does get 3-3. And I guess it's fair, right? You really only need, if you're talking about Ghost Mech, you really only need armor. And yeah, attack is nice, and you want to be able to two-shotting Marines with, or Lings with the Ghost is nice. But you get Ghosts not for their attack, but you get them for their spell casting. So Byun adding in the additional factories. He's on double armory now. He's moving full late game Ghost Mech. He's kind of realized as good snipes go down, a bunch of Overseers. He started to realize that Dark will not be broken. And Dark's creep spread, by the way, is disgusting in this game. It's nipping on the doorstep of Byun's third base. Traditionally, that means that the Zerg is just uncontestable. Okay, Broodlords are on the way, and in fairness to that, well, Zerg just cannot be cannot lose at that point. Late game Terran is starting to reach the point where it's like, oh, actually, no, not really. If you're able to turtle up to 3-3 Thor Liberator or Thor Hellbat Ghost, maybe some Liberators too, it is very, very hard for the Zerg to fight. So, yeah, now he's got to pick up these Ghost Keep. He's going to lose a couple Ghosts though. Just not enough room in the medevacs. That's unfortunate for Byun. Nice pick off there, Dark. And Byun started to realize just how scary it is to be active on the map. Now, this drop just wants to die. Byun needs to free up some supply. He's got to bank for it. He needs Thors, and he needs Ghosts, and he needs things like that. We saw an incredible late game ZVT of Cure versus Dark on this map in the Korea Grand Finals. It went to about 45 minutes. And I kind of hope it doesn't go to 45 minutes here. I mean, I'd like to sleep. It's much easier for me to justify not sleeping on a Saturday night than it is a Monday night. But anyway, we saw a fantastic game. Went 45 minutes. Cure almost clutched it out. Dark was in dire strait. It was back and forth. It was fantastic. With Infernal Pre-Igniters on the way, Blue Flame on the way. The Hellbats with their +3. They're not going to be super tanky just yet. They're missing about 2 armor upgrades. But they will one-shot these Lings, and that is just so useful in this game. As the Marauders running forward, I feel like Byun, you want to trade those as effectively as you can, but we're also kind of at the point where you don't really want Marauders anymore. And really, the only units you want out of barracks are Ghosts, and then everything else is going to be Hellbat and Thor. Just the maximum efficiency army. Maybe some Liberators too, depending on the composition. So Byun now trying to push north side, trying to take this base that Dark has taken from him. Now, I don't think Dark has not mined a lot out of that base. And that's the big deal. The whole point of this late game setup is you need to mine more out of the map than your opponent, because the map is split. I mean, look how little resources lost. We are 17 minutes in, and it is less than 10k resources lost aside. Both players are understanding extremely quickly that Thor drop and +3 Thors, they kill buildings really quickly. So this Thor drop from Byun is cute. It's going to maybe deny the base of Dark for just a little bit. As now the Lings Bangs come rolling on Thor forward. Thors are still not super beefy. They're lacking those upgrades, but Ghost run backwards. One Thor dies. Dark, again, he's got to be careful about this one. Hydras are going to knock this Thor drop down though, and is he going to get the base? He does not. Probably if he had +3, he probably... probably enough, he probably would have if he did have +3. Now the Ghosts, they're running backwards, looking for the splits. There's an Overseer there. Ghosts, they're going to not die. It takes 6 Ghosts to kill it, or it takes 6 Banes to kill a Ghost. So nice trades there from Byun. A couple drones going down. Dark's like, I built too many. I got too much. I have too much money. I don't want it. I don't want it at all. So the drones will go down, but these are drones that, for the most part, Dark wants to lose. Dark just lost 25 drones. He's at 104. What the hell, man? Unacceptable. That's illegal. That's not okay. And now Byun, okay, he is going back for +3. I was wondering. I mean, I understand the logic of just not getting +3 attack because really, it's all about the ghosts. But there are like weird late game scenarios where you do start to build Marines again, and even ghosts. They do a lot of bonus damage to light, so they kill Hydras very well. They kill drones very well. They kill Lings very well. As Dark will lose another base, so Byun now splitting the map horizontally. But the point being, and we're gonna start to talk about this as the game continues to go on. There are a couple contested bases, the diagonal ones and the ones around them. So, or the corner bases. So this base and then this base, and then this central base, to a lesser extent on both sides. These are bases that we can classify as contested bases. Both players want to be able to get them. So Dark, he's going to try to get them as quick as you can, because eventually the Terran, if the Terran late game already gets to the point where you do have to start giving up ground. You just cannot defend all the positions you would like to. It's really hard to keep those bases alive, or hard to keep them alive. Yes, you can deny the Terran mining, but it's rather hard to keep yourself there. So you try to suck up as much money out of those bases in the early game, so then when it does go split map, you realize, okay, wait a minute here, good, oh, EMP is not really landing. Then you realize it's okay, well, the Terran does not have as much money available to them on the map as the Zerg does, and then it becomes just a war of attrition. As we look at here, Dark has started to trade worse. 6,000 resources in the rear, or in arrears, I guess. But he does have the full split map. He took a bunch of bases from Byun. Good snipes go down, knocking Infestor down, but Byun will trade a couple ghosts in the exchange, and that's not really what you want. Tank going down here as well, but tanks are not really as relevant to this game anymore. They're nice to deal with run bys, as Dark's going to run in. It's like, oh, 4 tanks. Crap. Can't really do much there. Not at the moment. But eventually, the main army, of course, for Byun will be Thor Tank Hellbat. Yes, +3 armor is just about done. +1 air attack actually just about done, so maybe he's going to add some Liberators in, or maybe he moves to Vikings to deal with the Broodlords. That's not the common approach that we're seeing right now. Normally, it is just Thors. I mean, they outrange Broods. They do so much damage versus Massive that it does work out rather well for them, as now Broodlord's teaching away on this just heavily turtled position with the Planetaries and the tanks here, but none of that really deals with Broodlords necessarily, and Byun to rotate over, he's going to have to run through a lot of creep and a lot of spores. But for now, Dark is going to give up on this for the moment. That's only because he's got to run by elsewhere. Banes come rolling on in, but really nice tanks. So that's really, the Banelings are not going to get much done, and in general, this is not going to get much done. A couple of SCV's fault, but Byun's on 80. He's very happy with that one. So creep spread getting knocked down on the left side of the map because Dark, his army is slow as molasses. Good fungals though. Good. Oh, actually, that's a bit of a mistake there. Maybe. We're going to see if it gets punished or not, because the ghosts get fungal, but they EMP at least a couple of the Infestors, at least a couple of the Vipers. And that is something. Now, the Nighty are just getting dropped everywhere. They're not even aggressive ones. They're not trying to break Byun. They just allow Dark to maybe mitigate some of the issues with his army being as really static as it is. Yeah, the Broodlords are going to take forever to rotate left, right, left, right. But Lings and Queens and all of those wonderful things, they can rotate left, right, left, right. Much quicker, especially with the Nidus, popping them in, popping them out. Byun, he's got additional starports on the way. So he's going to play this a little bit differently than his opponent does. His Thor drop on the left side. These Banelings are just not going to do much of anything. 3 Thors, they do a lot. So Lings are going to show up, though, and the Corruptor's zoning out these Medivacs. These Thors, they're dead. Yes. 3 Thors, they do as much damage as well, actually, they killed all the Lings. That's always so... It's like, Lings are actually really good against Thors. It should work, right? Then it's like, no. No, it doesn't. Not really. But Byun, he's going to push forward once again. And the big thing, he's really lacking gas compared to Dark. And it looks like, okay, it will be Liberator play out of Byun at this point. So that's a little bit different from how Maru chooses to play. Maru just plays very heavily on the ground. But Liberators do a good job of zoning out, say, Infestors. They're, of course, super vulnerable to the Corruptors, but they do a good job of zoning out Infestors, and if you have, say, Snipes or something to deal with the Corruptors, maybe you're going to be fine, and Thors as well. Just a little different. Just a smidge different for our Dragon Phoenix Zerg player. That's 3-3, or our Shopify Terran, there we go. It was Hydra's done for it. I feel like you just want to lose I feel like this is one of those things where you just kind of want to lose the Hydras, much like... Byun wanted to lose those Marauders earlier on. You're placing with Lings, with Banes, and with higher tech stuff. Hydras are not all that great in this game, but Byun pushing on the bottom side. Oh, big fungals right there, but Is there going to be enough to chain it together? Medevac starting to fall, but the spores will get knocked down here. These ghosts getting rather low. And here come Bailey's looking to roll on, looking to finish the job that the Fungals did start. But the ghosts, for the most part, they're going to stay alive. I think maybe 2 or 3 ghosts went down, not too many. And now the army of Byun runs back as the Broodlords run forward. But Byun has successfully split the map. He has every base that he could want, although again, this left side base is a base that Dark has mined from. Byun has not been able to take away a base that Dark has mined from. He's not been able to suck resources from it, which just means Dark, he will always have more money on the map. And as we look at resources lost, that's still okay for Byun. He's not plus a base in terms of resources. But it's probably going to be okay as Byun going for Caduceus Reactor, or not, no, Infernal, what's it called? Medevac upgrades. Not really sure why he's going for it. Feels like the stage of, well, I don't know, maybe we're going to see some interesting Thor drop shenanigans later on or something, or you boost in, you drop some EMPs on top of all the infestors, and that's going to be that. I don't know. Gonna be interesting to see. As Byun is replenishing his medevac count just a little bit. He's got 2 of them. Well, he's got 1, but he will have a second, and I think I would not, honestly, I think this is going to be for ghost drops. That sounds super weird, but if you drop a couple EMPs on all the infestors, suddenly this army of Dark just does not fight whatsoever. So Broodlord shelling away. That planetary is going to go down. Not a lot of mining at this base, though. Byun is going to be able to retake it at a later date. And now the Thor is running forward. Liberator is zoning out everything. Ghost doing what they can. This is going to be another dead base from Dark, and this is actually a base that has a lot more money in it. So Byun's going to be able to make that happen. Maybe take this base away from Dark. That's going to be nice. It's Thor on the high ground. I'm not really sure what the point of that is, but yeah, you know what? Hey, Byun, you do you. Live your life. On the other side of the map, though, this pressure keeps moving forward. Good Fungals. That is a bunch of ghosts that are going to find their way into the Shadow Realm here going down. And more importantly, we're going to start to see the production, at least some of the production of Byun, start to die. A factory is going down, barracks as well, but Byun, Thor in the main base just killed some tech structure. I'm not really sure what. No, that was the macro hatch. But now Byun knocking down the Nidus as well. That's going to be a little bit of a problem. This Thor hit squad is doing a lot. I don't know what it's doing as much as Dark is, actually, with his 23 Broodlords. But we do need to see some Ghost Snipes. And actually, I want to... These Liberators, there's just no anti-air. The Liberators need to run in. Parasitic Bombs are going to be nice. You got to split those, but... Parasitic Bomb Fungal, I guess, is going to be the anti-air. But Liberators should eventually clean this up, I would think, as Byun continues to build more and more of them. Meanwhile, Dark has lost his natural. He's going to lose the Hive as well. This game... It's a mech versus Broodlord base trade. I don't think I've seen this before, not in this way. But we are starting to see good snipes going down. Actually, not a lot of detection for the No, there is. I think there are observers somewhere, or overseers somewhere. Ghosts continue to fall, but the Liberators, there's not a lot of anti-air. Eventually, everything's going to run out. Energy's going to run out here. Actually, I really want to see Byun just go and EMP the infestors. But it looks like the Liberator is not going to do quite enough. Byun losing a lot of his production, but he's knocked down almost all the tech. It's only the spires that remain. You can't even build Zerglings if you're Dark. So he's got a Lurk Den on the way for these Hydras, but the Hydras are the last he's going to make for a while. And okay, what are we at? Actually, let's take a look at structures here. We have two starports. We have the Fusion Core briefly, but Byun doesn't care about the Fusion Core now that he's gotten his upgrades out of it. We still have 6 factories. We have 5 barracks. And we do have a Ghost Academy again. So Byun, his production is in a much better situation. Dark actually really hurting really hurting is a relative term, but his mineral income is really, his income in general is shattered right now, only on 40 workers. But Byun does have to be careful as the army of Dark returns back home. So if he can get this army out, if he can get these Thors out after doing so much to Dark's situation, or to Dark's setup, that is going to be incredible for him. And I think he's going to get out. Yeah, I know he's got out. He drops a scan to make sure that he can run away. Maybe these tanks die. But I don't even know that he wants the tanks anymore. And now these Broodlords running forward, all rather low, all 20 of them. The Greater Spire, by the way, is still alive. So that can be made at the very least. You gotta be careful with these infestors, though. But there we go. The splash on the Liberators. It's not quite enough to one-shot, but look at all the Broodlords. They're going down. Oh, my goodness. This is... well, okay, there we go. You neural them. That's going to be the solution, I guess. The Hydras are going to kill them all off. These Broodlords, not quite enough damage from the Liberators. They only had +2, not +3. But more Thors are on the way. More Vikings on the way right now. And Dark's economy, again, it's not the best. But in fairness, Byun's gas bank is shattered. He is He's got a lot of minerals, and he's actually spent a lot of them, but his gas bank is just not good. He's dropping another factory. He says, I kind of need +3 attack. So lots of Vikings on the field. We're at 9 right now. Byun's going to max out on that count. Well, Viking Thor, I guess. And we're going to have to see if he makes something. His gas count is really hurting, and I think he's mined out of the rich gas. Yeah, he has. So, well, actually, I want to take a look at resources. Lost. Byun is lost. Oh, man, he's lost 5,000 more gas. 37 ghosts. 37 ghosts, 7 Thors. But 37 ghosts, my goodness. We're going to have to see if Byun's Viking control is going to be up to snuff, though. And remember, Dark has mined more on the map than Byun has. Or he has access to more mining on the map than Byun has. That is the real big thing. Byun does have access to this base. On the left, on the near left side. There's plenty of... actually, not a lot of gas. I thought about 1,000 gas would do Byun wonders. And I think we're going to see an orbital look to take that one eventually, as the Spire and the Greater Spire are now bleeding out. Well, actually, no. Are they? Wait, are they? No? Okay, they're going to regen. Dark had his lair just in time to not lose that. Landed Vikings in the main. They're going to... Well, actually, Vikings just sweeping around. They're going to supply block Dark, and this is not the most impactful right now, but if you can go find a lot of these overlords, that's a lot of minerals. Oh, Byun's not going to find the ones in the corner, though, unfortunate. That's a lot of minerals that Dark does not necessarily want to spend on, and on top of that, he wants to be able to remax. So now Byun is going to take Dark's 4th that Byun killed a couple times. Byun's starting to... Really, Byun is... his income is starting to go dry, though. I mean, it looks fine right now, but all the bases that he's mining at, they're on 4 mineral patches. With the power of mules, as the power of mules do compel you, it becomes a problem. But now the Hydra's going to force cancel on this base. But with this army here, now you got to pull the Vikings back, Byun. You do not want to lose the Vikings. They are your anti-Broodlord force. And actually, I think that was a dead command center. It was not a cancel. And in these late game scenarios, you say, look, Byun's rich. He doesn't really care. He does. The money that he has on the map right now, we're starting at the point where he is not... The game will not end before he mines out everything. So every little bit, 450 minerals there, 200 gas there, it is going to have a significant impact in how the game ends up going. But now Byun, he continues to roll forward. He continues to try to exert his will on the map just a little bit more. And as the tanks are super useful here. As the spores get pushed back time and time and time again, which allows the Liberators to run forward, which allows most importantly the Vikings to run forward, because they really want to snipe these Broodlords. You cannot take a fight into this choke. Byun needs to find a way into maybe this position where he can take a better concave. Dark is hoping and praying that Byun... Oh, and actually, wait a minute. We talk about bases that Byun can take. I guess that doesn't have a lot of minerals on it. Never mind. I was like, that looks like a full mineral patch on the minimap. But not enough. More and more Broodlords are on the way as Dark now finally feeling comfortable enough. And by the way, Dark's mineral bank is shot. He's got a ton of gas, but you need both. So it's starting to feel like this army that Dark has is maybe not the last start. No, it's probably going to be the last army. He's not going to be able to build another army like this one. But he's also on only 15 workers. Excuse me. He's also only on 15 workers. His army is 185 army supply. Snap runs forward. He knocks down an Overseer. That's something. I mean, at this point in the game, any sort of value is something. Shen scans that base and says, Dark, are you stealing a little money from me? And the answer is no. Any gas in these nope. In these no. Okay, so if Byun can find his way down here, there's almost 25, or there's 2200 gas, 2300 gas in that extractor, or that Vespene geyser. That is actually really nice. Of course, Byun is this base has been mined out of gas for the how did I click on a tank? Is about halfway mined out of gas. So Byun doesn't really have a lot more in the tank, but his mineral income is insane. We might get to the point, if Byun can knock this army down, as he's now sacrificing SCVs, he says, look, I need more stuff. Now, Byun only has 5 barracks. All right, I don't think there are a lot of reactors on them. We might get to the point, though, As now, Dark's gonna take this opportunity. Look what he's doing. He's just... oh, that's super cool. There are so many Broodlords that he's attacking his own Broodlings to spawn more Broodlings. Normally you see him go and you say, I'm going to attack, I'm going to attack a Creep Tumor, I'm going to attack something I have. No, he's attacking his own Broodlings, and there are just enough of them there that if he's going to be able to keep doing this, he's just going to... he's swarm hosting this. This is actually so cool. This is not something that you see all that often. Tanks starting to fall. This is... actually, this is so cool. This is... it's one of those things you know is possible, but I have not seen this in quite a while here. So the Broodlings continue to roll forward as this game continues to drag out. Byun, he cannot fight into this. He needs Hellbats. He doesn't have any. Or he has very... yeah, he's got 4 Hellbats. He really needs to move them forward. He cannot fight this army as it stands. And Byun needs to lose more SCVs. He's only at 40. He needs to go... those are his rookie numbers. Bring yourself down below 20, Byun, then we'll talk. As he's still got a decent amount of gas in the field. The gas count's starting to equalize just a little bit more. More Hellbats, more Ghosts are on the way. And this is how Dark's going to push Byun back. This is just so odd. I'm not oddball. All right, it is a totally valid strat. And it's something we knew was possible, but it felt like Byun losing those SCVs was a mistake. Because he was just... I mean, that gave the couple Broodlings on the ground that Dark needed to be able to spawn relentless, endless Broodlings. And now is he going to do it again? He says, I can kill a Creep Tumor. Creep Tumors are free. So here we go, running forward once again. Dark just on top of things. Now, it looks like eventually the Broodlings will outrun the... yeah, so notice what Dark's doing. He said, I got to pull some Broodlings back. Broodlings on creep will outrun the Broodlords. So if I want to keep spawning them like this, I do need to pull a couple back to make sure that something happens. But now with the Hellbats here, this is not quite as effective as it was previously. But Dark has been able to rebuild his bank. Because these Hellbats going to try to stay alive just a little bit more. Dark has been able to rebuild his bank. Big fungal there, but is he going to be able to chain it? We don't have a lot of medevacs. There's only 2 medevacs on the field. So Ghosts, they struggle a little bit. Good abducts here as well. Snipes going down on a couple of the Broodlords. We're going to move to this tab. 3 Broodlords have fallen, but oh man, such a good fight here for Dark. Byun's got to back the hell on up. Parasitic bombs on top of everything. Where are our Vikings? Are they just dead? Yeah, the Vikings just died in the blink of an eye. And here comes the army of Dark running forward, blinding clouds on top of everything. Yeah, Byun's got more money, but this is just so gas expensive here. And now he runs back and says, okay, we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. Now only 8 Thors on the field, 3 Ghosts. The Viking count has just been reset. I guess that was Parasitic Bomb Fungal. I did not notice it. So like suddenly there were 12 Vikings on the field, and now there are no Vikings on the field. And Byun now, his gas bank has been cut in half. There's really not a lot on the map for him once again. Dark, despite losing, actually Byun has lost. I was about to say Byun, Dark, despite not trading nearly as well, Byun has lost 9,000 more resources. That is, I mean, that's just a testament to Dark's control in the late game. He was down 10k, so this is a base and a half resources lost swing over the course of the last 15 minutes, last 10 minutes. And now Byun is out of gas. I mean, he's got 600, but really, he's out of gas for the most part. He's mining 300 a minute. We talked about how that was going to be Dark's last army, but it seems like he was okay. It seems like he was able to mine just a little bit enough, or mine enough to build his bank up again. This is, I think, going to be Byun's last army. The gas count is getting so low, and there's just so little remaining on the map that it's going to, I mean, with the 50 gas in this refinery, 38 in this one, yeah, Byun is out of gas. There is no refinery. I mean, does he have more over here, maybe? No. It looks like there's a little in this one. I don't know how much there is. We can't click on it. But Byun is well and truly out of gas. He needs to make something happen with this army right now. He's got all of his upgrades. He's maxed out once again, or, you know, close enough for government business. There we go. The Broodlord abuse coming in once again. And Byun, what does he spend on the last of his gas? He says, okay, a couple Ghosts. That's what I need. I need those EMPs. I'm somewhat surprised to not see, okay, actually really good EMPs there. Half the infestors do go down, but the fungals are so damn good. Blinding clouds on top of everything as well. Broodlor's doing what they can. Liberator's just adding in a little bit of extra DPS here. He who wins this fight probably wins this game, and it looks like Dark's just able to keep the kite going. Byun cannot shove into this one. The EMPs were good, but the Broodlords are just so damn strong. The army running in. Hellbats, they're doing what they can, and now Byun, he's out of gas. One more Viking, 3 more Ghosts. That is what he's going to spend on. Snipes from the left side. I think that was canceled anyways, and these Thors, they're doing what they can, but Dark is just slow rolling this one. Byun cannot move into this, not with the constant Broodling spam that he's doing, and not with the spores on the high ground too. Liberators can't show their ugly faces or their pretty faces. I mean, you be the judge here. I'm not gonna be all that mean. But snipes go down and Broodlord falls. We still have 28 broods, and most importantly, Dark still has the gas bank. Byun does not. So now Thors again, they run forward. Dark kites back. Spores here doing such a great job knocking the Liberators down. Ghosts on the left side doing what they can, and we're gonna see Dark probably try to run Broodlings into that one. These Ghosts are so damn low. Now there's not a lot of energy in these Infestors, so that's the scary thing right now. If there's ever a timing, it's gonna be really right now. As the Broodlords get more energy, I don't know that you're gonna get those EMPs once again, because the Ghosts just need to do so much. Byun, he's down to about 40 army supply, 147 to 183, building 11 Hellbats at a time, 5 Marines, whatever he can, as he does expend that bank, but he's putting himself in a better position. This is not nearly as bad of a choke as it was previously. Broodlings, they run forward, but the Hellbat's doing a great job dealing with them right now. Fungals on the Ghost, that's actually such a big deal. You cannot let them get the snipes off, but the Marines, the Hellbats, they're running on forward. Byun trying to make something happen here. He's gonna go, but big Fungals, Blinding Clouds. Yeah, this is what Dark has been looking for. Oh, Byun's got to retreat. Thors continue to fall, and when the Thor count goes down, so do Byun's hopes, Byun's dreams in this game. That was something big burned down on the right side. Okay, that was an Evo chamber burning down to the Hellbats, but Byun continues to push forward on the death push. The last shot, Dark is just being so gosh darn patient here, and there we go. That's the end game. The Knurls. You take away all the Thors, and Dark is up 2-1. In the upper left, in the red, he's down 1 because his opponent sped Broodlings on Broodlings on Broodlings. It's Byun. In the upper right, in the blue, he's up 1 now. 1 map away, it's Dark. So I kind of expected some cheese after a 40-minute game, but no. So now that we know, at least this is not going to be super aggressive from either player. We saw Dark play a fantastic game on Stargaze, actually, against Curie. It was game 2. It was a game that he was hella far behind on, and he pulled it back and won the game, won the series. So, do we get that again? Selfishly, as someone who did not get enough sleep last night and tries to have a somewhat standard sleep schedule outside of EBT Korea, I would, please don't go to 2 more 40-minute games. Please. That's the goal. But I don't know. Second Bear is going down. Byun going for a 2-1-1 this game. And actually, 2-1-1 can be extremely strong on this map because of the dead airspace and because Zergs really do not like to take that pocket base. So that gives you pretty much a free unload to stim into the main base from a weird angle. So we're going to have to see if maybe that's what Byun is going to be looking for. And more importantly, does Byun let the game go late again? Or does he kind of give up after... does he give up after too long? Because, I mean, Dark just looks... It's funny. We talk about how Maru looks unbeatable in the late game. I'm actually really so excited for their next matchup because, okay, Valencia was fantastic. But now that Dark has figured this out, you have the unstoppable force and you have the immovable object and the immovable object in Dark and in Maru. There we go. I want to say Cure or Byun, which are not who I'm talking about, by the way. The unstoppable force and the unstoppable force, or the immovable object, really, both players so comfortable at turtling into that late game. Both players so comfortable at winning in that late game. I don't know. I'm excited for their next matchup in the GSL next season. Yeah, GSL next season is going to be before. Well, who knows? We might get them in TSL. I haven't done my prep for TSL just yet. And that's a reminder, folks. TSL starts on Friday. I'll be casting Saturday and Sunday, and then the following Saturday. Here come. This is a weird timing from Byun. It's not even timed out with Stim. He's going to look for an Overlord, and Queens do not have Transfuse at this point, so Byun snipes an Overlord, and that should just be enough to run home. Lings are going to try to have something to say about that one, but a Marine falls, and there's just not enough Lings right here. 18 more Lings are on the way from Dark, but it's not super committal from Byun just yet. His medevac's not done. His Stim is not done. This is a little bit spicy from Byun here. Getting that Overlord is put... I mean, now Dark's building 5 Overlords at a time. He says, you know what? I need to be ready for the next push, and Dark's still going to lose another Overlord. So Dark has been supply blocked for the last 45 seconds, and now as the 2-1-1 arrives, you want anything... Oh, Dark's on 22 Lings. He's droning up as this 2-1-1 hits. How many Lings did I say he was? He's at 22 Lings is approaching happiness. And the Queens are in the main base. He's got 8 Queens. The math on 31 Lings, 32 Lings says you want to have 7 Queens. So he has more than that. It looks like he should be fine here. And yeah, there we go. Pick up. He loses another Overlord, though. That's the third this game. And Dark. He's got Roach on the brain. Looks like he wants to go for some sort of Roach timing or 1-1 Roach idea. There's also the word where he just says, yeah, I feel unbeatable in the late game, at least against someone like Byun. So I'm going to go Roaches, I'm going to go into quick Lurkers, and I'm going to take this game as late as humanly possible. We're going to have to see. But for now, 8 Roaches are on the way. Do we have Evos? We do not. So just 8 Roaches on the way here. And there we go. Okay, there's the double Evo. So these are going to be defensive Roaches for the moment. Byun really not getting quite enough done with this 2-on-1. I was a little worried where we saw Byun or Dark droning the hell on up as the 2-on-1 arrived, but with the Queens, he had enough. He was fine. And he had saved up enough energy on the Queens to make sure that he had enough transfuses. So now we're going to have to see how this next round of stuff gets done from Byun. Because again, I feel like at this point, we can just say Byun's not going to be Dark in the late game. How that went, no way. No way, Jose. So 1-1 Roach, or 1-1 range, 1-1 Roach on the way behind this. Defensive Roach is in a good spot. Byun picks up, but he's not really going to do all that much with that one. His +1 attack is going to be done soon enough. And by the way, folks, this is an all-in. It's a +1 Stim, Marine all-in. We have 5 Barracks, Liberators getting added in. No third base. Tanks as well. So is Dark going to be able to hold on to this one? That is the big question. That's the one we're all asking ourselves. Gliel or Reconstitution? Roach speed is only about a third of the way done here, maybe a quarter of the way done. Roaches are going to struggle to find the concave that they're looking for, and Dark, as a Roach player, is sitting roughly equal to the Terran and army supply is a bit spooky. So now the tanks are going to siege up, but on the high ground, good biles here. They're going to get 2 tanks. That is, oh man, that's such a big deal here. But now the Marines, they're going to stim on top of all the Ravagers. Ravagers do fall. Queens, though, they're going to get target fire on the tanks. Bile's not really going to land. Byun thinks he's got it right here, right now. The Queens with good transfuse, though. More and more Roaches joining the fray. Roaches trying to get on top of this tank. Bile stimming forward, trying to get on top of the Ravagers, but Dark does hold. And it feels like that first push had to be everything. There is more Marines on the way. Of course, there are more tanks as well. And a couple Queens did fall. We're only on 3 Queens, not the 8 or 9 that Dark had earlier. But 1-1 is going to be done sooner rather than later. Byun says, I gotta go get a third base. And that is a bit awkward because this is all in. It's 8 minutes. Dark is on 3 bases. He's on 66 workers. He's a very happy man. He's got his 4th base on the way as well. This drop on the bottom side, seems like Dark has scouted that one out. He's aware of thing. Yeah, okay. It was like, hey, he's reacting to it, and then he runs away. But he's got enough Roaches down there at the bottom. 1-1 done in just a second. And now Dark's saying, okay, well, Now I have the production I'm looking for. Now my 1-1 is done. Let me see if I can make something happen here. Ravager's leading, though, and that's not what you want. You, of course, want the Roaches to buffer, and you want the Ravagers to sit behind, adding that additional DPS. But Byun microing around things before the Roaches really get that concave. And now with the Tank Liberator, it's going to be hard. It's going to be damn hard for Dark to push in. So he does have 2-2 on the way. He's not maxed out just yet. He's going to try to catch this army as Byun moves on the map here. Tanks are not sieged. Neither are Liberators, but Dark running away for just a moment. Biles are going to actually land on a tank here. Liberator's sieging up as well, and now Dark has to run away. Dropping a couple Marines, trying to make sure that maybe Dark cannot escape as well as he would like. Biles landing on top of the tank, once again doing a little bit more damage. But now here come Roaches from every side. Tanks are not yet sieged. Liberators, they're going to actually not really go down just yet, but I'm not really sure it matters. The supply of Dark, actually, no, he can't fight into that. After all, Byun runs forward once again. The Roach count of Dark is starting to be diminished just a little bit. More importantly, losing those Ravagers. The 2-2, halfway done. +1 armor is the extent of Byun's ambitions in this game. As now the Roaches in the dead airspace, or the line of sight blocker. Oh, they get a medevac. That's nice. But the tank is doing a lot. So Dark, he's going to have to go back. I think once again, he's going to have to build more. Or in this case, he says, okay, I need Hive. I need Hive. I need to be able to make sure that I can get to that next level of tech. I don't know. Byun is microing this well enough, and I don't have enough army supply necessarily that I think I can fight this. And actually, Byun nudging up an army supply just a little bit. It feels like maybe that push from Dark, as smart as it felt, was a bit of a mistake there. Dark has lost a lot of his supply, but now Dark running forward. Biles not really going to land. Dark trying to keep Byun from his side of the map to allow himself to build more and more and more and more. But the Liberator gets a couple workers. Spore says, nuts to that one. You don't get to do that. But it's going to be enough. Spore already embering to the new position, so maybe 1 or 2 more workers will fall. But now it's a dead Liberator. Okay. And Byun, he has been able to establish his third base behind this. But it looks like Dark is transitioning into... he's actually into Roach Ravager Link Bane. Bailey Nest on the way. No +1 melee just yet. But there it is. Okay, it's +2 finishes, +1 melee on the way. Bailing speed going to be the name of the game. And I think Dark's now, well, we're going to have to see where he goes from here. The Hive is just about done. I don't think he adds Ultras. But, you know, actually, okay, well, I mean, of course, as any good Zerg does, you add 2 Vipers. Right? The Vipers just add so much utility. They knock medevacs out of the sky. But even Blinding Cloud on a bunch of bio is so nice. It just forces them to actually microwave from the Blinding Cloud where you can get more damage in. The drop on the bottom side, okay, so Dark is reacting to this one, but again, the Lings are just not heavily upgraded, so it's all about the Roaches, and they're going to be able to deal with that one for the most part. But in this game state, where Byun's upgrades are not very good whatsoever, a couple beefy Ultras that, yeah, they don't do a ton of damage, they're only going to be a +1 maybe, but with 5 armor versus +2 attack, and Byun's tech really not all that developed, getting an Ultra tech seems like a really nice idea. I don't know that he's going to do for it. I mean, look, he's probably not. I mean, let's be real. Ultra into lose is very much a meme for a reason. But now Dark has been able to secure his 5th base. 81 workers, maxed out. I think we might see him try to do something once mainly speed is done, because Byun also has his 4th base. Byun is advancing from a position where it didn't really feel like he was going to be able to do anything in this game. Well, he took a good enough fight in the middle of the map, and he slapped down enough of the 1-1 Roach from Dark that, yeah, sure, Dark's up 40 supply, but I mean, a lot of that is in Roach Ravager. Ravager's 3 supply, Roaches 2. Not incredibly supply efficient. So we're going to see Dark as the game goes on, and as he tries to advance the level of his tech, he's going to have to trade away a lot of these Roaches. And the question really is going to be how he's going to look to do so. As there's a Spire on the way. This may just be for Corruptors to knock the medevacs down, or this may be Dark saying, the map is split buckling, folks, for another 35 minutes. I'm going to turtle the hell out of this. I'm going to build 31 broods. So good luck. Good luck, Byun. Which, hey, you know, do the best strat that is going to play the best strat that's going to work out for you. But yep, Atherton Gland's on the way. Okay. Yeah, I think there's going to be a Greater Spire. Oh. I mean, this is not a shot at any player. You play the best style that you got to do to win, but I love long games as long as there are short games as part of it as well. But these games that it's just kind of doomed to go to 40 minutes in ZVT is really... The Mario Serral series, where we really started to do this for the most part, is Blinding Clouds, or the Parasitic Bombs are just going to kill these two medevacs, kind of. One medevac will fall. The Mario Serral series, where we saw this for King of Battles 2, was fantastic. Because it was a game where Mario hadn't totally figured it out yet. Everyone was talking about how unbeatable he was in the late game, but he hadn't totally figured the style out. There we go. Okay, medevac's dead. Finally. But now that it really has been figured out, and both players have started, and Zergs, more importantly, have kind of started to realize that you just gotta go there. The quicker you can get there, the better shot you have of winning the game. The less you trade in the mid game, the better shot you have of winning the game. Well, I love it. We do have Infestors on the way. Greater Spire is, that first Spire is done. Second Spire on the way. So, Dark's going to start to get his air upgrades as well as Byun, not even taking the bottom left base, just taking the bottom center. Roach is going to force a cancel on that extra command center. That is worth the sacrifice of the Roaches. You don't want them anyways. So, forcing a cancel on an extra base, yeah. Dark's going to be very happy with that one. Is the Greater Spire just about done? Secondary Spire as well. So, we should see 1-1 pop up behind this pretty damn soon. Corruptor's getting added in. And Dark's gas count is not incredible just yet. He's mining a lot. He's mining almost 70,000 gas a minute, but he's not really building the bank just yet. But on 90 drones, taking the contested base, I don't know that he's going to be able to take any other base from Dark, and that is one of the benefits of, from Byun, and that is one of the benefits of this map. You have the gold base, which is sure nice, but it has less minerals in it than a blue base does. It is, and it's actually one that Terran can contest a little bit easier. This map is much better for, I think, Terran in the late game. Now, if you're facing Dark in the late game, once he gets up to that amount of Broodlords, I don't know that anyone's favored, but this is certainly, I think this is a better map for Byun than Data Z is. Kind of funny too, where if we look at this, right, the narrative for a while, I was talking to Scarlett about this just 2 days ago, actually. Well, no, yesterday on Sunday. I'm like, oh, how do you feel about the style TVZ we see right now? And she's like, well, you know, Terran goes past 20 minutes, they're unbeatable, so you just got to beat them early. And watching Dark play this right now, and it's like, yeah, that's a complicated style for Dark to play. It's a lot of spell casting, but if you can do it, that Broodlord spam seems really strong. Anyway, Byun pressuring on the bottom side, the top side at the same time. I think these are Marauders that just want to die. That's fine. Byun on the bottom side, he may be able to deny this gold base for now as the Broodlings rotate on over. Lings and Banes roll forward, but plenty of full Marauders for the moment, actually, so that's something. Banelings are not going to get on top of these Ghosts necessarily. Ghost Blitz from Byun, and there we go. The Banelings do not get the connections that they want. Not a great trade for Dark. And Dark is not at the point where he's, that was an interest. Oh, it's a bait. Oh, that's so cool. So he drops the Nidus. He says, yeah, Byun, turn around, kill the Nidus. As the Infestor runs forward, gets a good fungal. Doesn't kill a Ghost, but he gets some Marauders, and value added, you know. Meanwhile, it looks like, I guess there was Marauders on the side that were dealt with. And now the Nidus is up. Spreads creep forward. Kind of a fun bait there from Byun is now, oh, good EMP snaps going down. So many Infestors are going to die right there. And that's really the goal. Byun needs to minimize the Infestor count. That's got to be the goal that he's going for in this game. Broodlord count continues to increase. We're now at 8, which is not 31. Dark can add another 10 more at the moment. Yeah, Dark can add like another 10 more at the moment. But he wants more Infestors at the moment. Infestors, of course, are going to find much more value over time than Broodlords are, as Byun has now split the map. Set your timers, folks. We're going to be here for another maybe 20 minutes. I don't know. Maybe Dark's going to be able to break this. He knocks down a couple building command centers. And I do like, by the way, that Byun has opted to build orbitals, not planetaries. Planetaries are bustable. Orbitals, not really. So, Byun loses 18 SCVs. That's expensive, but He's got the bank, and snipes go down as the army retreats. Dark is really convinced that Byun's going to try to push through the north side and south side at the same time. So his Broodlords seem to be perennially out of position just a little bit. Oh, good bile fungals. But oh, good EMPs as well. Are these ghosts going to go down? No, the healing is going to be good enough. Even still, Byun, these are not the trades that he wants. He does not have full upgrades just yet. He's got +3 mech attack, but no armor until it's on the way right now. Byun fell in supply just a little bit, and his mineral bank's depleted. Now, he's mining a lot. And once he drops a mule hammer, he'll be mining even more. But for the moment, his mineral bank's depleted. So it seems like Byun is just not able to contest the gold. And we're starting to get to the point where the gold base has been mining for, what, 2 minutes? I should have made a note of that. But the gold base is starting to... The smaller mineral patches are starting to mine out a little bit. And that's the point where it's like, okay, well, Byun, even if you take this base now, Dark will have mined out more than 50% of the base. And as we talk about this map, there really is only one truly contested base. That's a big problem for Byun if he wants to have a chance to win this game. He either needs to trade extremely cost effectively, which he really... I mean, plus 3,000 does not make up for that gold. So either he has to trade extremely cost effectively, or as a Broodlord push on the north side here, that's a burning command center, or a burning orbital. Second one is in trouble. Now snipes go down. Oh, good EMPs. They're going to be a sec. Oh, the chain EMPs. The infestors get nothing. What a move there from Byun. And now, okay, there we go. We have a couple ghosts are going to be abducted, yoinked away in recompense. But that was a couple of Broodlords going down. 4 Broodlords do go down, and the infestors are now useless. Baneling's rolling on forward. If there ever was an opportunity for Byun to do something, it's going to be right here, right now. Baneling's just kind of forcing the Broodlords or the Thors to split, I guess. The Ravagers run forward. They don't even have +3 range because, honestly, they are doomed to die. Ranged attack is not... Ranged units are not really... Ground ranged units are not really going to be a thing in this game for Dark 4 forever. But Byun, now he is the one that has lost a crap ton of supply here, but all the infestors are just out of energy. So you cannot fight this army without infestors. Byun found the EMP that he looked for. Bile's landing on top of all these Thors, though. Byun, yeah, he kills the Ravagers. That's now Dark. He has to figure out what he's going to remax with. It looks like it's going to be a lot of Broods. But that was a lot of Thors going down. Those Ravagers, they were doomed to die anyways. It doesn't really matter. It's good. EMP snipe going down. Broodlords try to cancel. And now it's a 9k lead for Byun. The last 30 seconds have been so good for the Korean Terran. And it's not like Dark's economy is insane. He's not mining more than 2,000 minerals a minute. His main and his natural are fully mined out. Third base starting to mine out a little bit as well. But I do like what he's done here, where he says, oh, you know, 3 of 8. But actually, I guess he's not mining for the bottom right at all, because he was trying to mine out as much from the gold as he could. That makes sense. Through the middle of the map comes Byun once again. Maxed out. Dark not quite maxed out just yet, but he's getting close to it once again. All the infestors got together. Okay, Blinding Cloud just keeping Broodlords alive. And we are, by the way, what's the count? It's 18. Now Fungals go down looking for the fight here, but without it, Blinding Clouds, you do need just a little bit more. Thors are so damn good. EMP is on top of all of this, and now the Broodlords, they run back. Snipes go down, but they're going to get canceled here. Now we have a bunch of Corruptors running forward. Dark trying to take this fight, but this is looking a lot better for Byun than it did in that last game. Dark's bank is gone. Dark's bank is at 100% depleted. This map does not have nearly as many mineral patches as Data C. He can't dominate it nearly as effectively. Okay, a couple of ducks on the Ghosts are going to be nice. Sure, that's fine. But Dark needs to find a better way to take this fight. I don't see a lot of energy on the Vipers, so the Thors, the Hellbats, the Ghosts, they're going to continue to push on forward. Now, we also got to point out, not a lot of energy on these Ghosts. Not a ton more EMPs and snipes, but 7 drones have died. The gold base will die as well, and now Byun looks like he's going to be able to take a base from Dark. At least deny a base from Dark. Now, luckily enough, was that an EMP? No, the infestors look like they still have plentiful energy. Now infestors running forward. Looking, there we go for the Neural on the Liberator going down. Big Fungals on top of everything. Oh, and yeah, no, these are Neural Liberators knocking down all the Thors. What a fight here from Dark. I don't know if that's going to be enough, though, as there we go. All the Broodlords are dead. The army of Byun still remains alive, and it's just infestors remaining. The rally of Byun on the way through. We talked about how good Dark looked in the late game. Well, not that late game. Byun ties it up. in the bottom left, in the red. He ties it up somehow. His name, Byun. In the upper right, in the blue. His late game looked unmatched until Byun took it to him in game 4. It's dark. So Byun went 2-1-1 that last game. Made sense at Stargazers. And I'm curious if he does something similar here. It's not quite as actually, there have been some rather successful 2-base pushes on this map. The rally between your natural and this pocket base is really short. Tropical Sacrifice is actually such an interesting map, and that is very big. But the rush distance is not all that long. So we've seen a couple really successful 2-base pushes on this map. Bunny used one to kill Raynor in Valencia. Maru used one to take a map off Dark in Valencia. And because you punch through this choke, and you stick Marines in there, you get tanks behind it. It's so hard for the Zerg to engage, and you just kind of slow roll forward. And yeah, it breaks the 4th, but then you can find this nice sieged up position outside the National. It becomes really hard for the Zerg to take the fight. So that may be what we see Byun do here. I'm not convinced that Byun is going to want to go to late game on this one. There are, what is that? 1, 2, 3. There are 4, 5, 6, 7, kind of 8, 7 core bases that you can take. And then there are like 2 contested bases, or 1 contested base per side, that you can look to take on this map. So from that perspective, yeah, I think 8 bases or more are probably what's necessary for Dark to get to that late game setup that he's able to do on Data C. As what Stargazers has like 5.5 bases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, five bases per side in the gold. There's just not enough money unless you're insanely far ahead and then just go kill them. I don't know that there's enough money on the map to go into that late game, super late game Zerg style that is able to counter the Terran late game style. Because I think that's really the question. So late game Terran is really good on like that Mario style, the unbeatable 20-minute style is really good on maps with maybe 5, 6 bases aside, maybe 7. Because it is hard. The Zerg army that beats that is uncounterable, well, not uncounterable, but that is almost impossible or much more difficult for the Terran to beat. That is one that costs, I mean, we did the math. If you go 30 Broodlords, that's 9,000 gas. That is a lot of gas. That is very hard to get to. And then you need Infestors, which are super gas heavy as well, and Vipers, and you get the point. That's not an army that in a normal game state you can really get to on 5, 6 bases. Meanwhile, the late game Terran army is not quite as gas expensive, or not quite as expensive to get to in general. So from that perspective, Tropical Sacrifice is maybe, it's kind of on the edge of something that Dark's going to be happy about or not. It's not a Data C though. As the last two Dark games on TVZs on Data C I've seen have combined to 1.5 hours. Is he just, I'm going to take it late. It has enough bases. But it's going to be Banshee opener from Byun in this game number 5. Hellion Banshee, to be precise. And again, I very much expected to see a 2-base push coming out of Byun, but it looks like that will not be the case. He says, you know what, Dark, I took you down on that previous map as Hellion's into the natural. Here, not enough Lings. Speed is done very, very late from Dark in this game. He tried to get greedy as hell, and Byun very interested in punishing this one. Drones are going to get pulled preemptively, and now Lings continue to fall. There's just no surround possible here. Drones, they're kind of trying to make something happen. Line them up, though. Byun looking for everything. 9 workers go down. Make it a 10, make it even more, make it 11. There we go. That's something. The Banshees, they still exist on the map. I don't know where they are. Okay, they're bottom side. And all the Queens, hey, conveniently, they were forced into the natural. So Banshee on the bottom side. 12 workers go down. 13. Make it 14. This is just... I hesitate to say game-ending damage because it's Dark. And Dark does not die. Dark is the best late game, the best low-eco late-game Zerg that we have in the business. But 18 workers have just died. And he's going to continue to get more with these Banshees, I think. And, okay, he's not quite the target fire there. Banshee on hold position, so Queen's going to start to blink away. There's a second Banshee joining the field. And if Byun's going to be able to pair these up, I mean, that's just going to be even worse. Queens are this is the spore repositions, but Banshee's not able to take advantage of it. Banshee back in the main base. Drone's getting pulled off this mineral line once again. Now the Banshee's out of cloak, so it's not quite as effective as another worker will die. But Banshee's getting 8 workers plus the 11 that Hellion. Okay, yeah, could have killed another worker, but that's fine. Plus the 11 that the Hellions got. If there's a game that Byun wins before 40 minutes, or 30 minutes, or whatever you want to say, before late game, it's got to be this one. Stim is done, 1-1 on the way. Byun taking his third base behind this. And again, while this is a big map, the pushing distance is not. Banshee dives in once again. Spore in a actually really nice position to defend this, but even still, 6 kills on this Banshee. I think we had 8 or 9 on the other one, plus a bunch of creep removal from the Banshee in the main. Byun's push is going to be terrifying. He's going to have 1-1 right after Lair is done, so Bailey speed is going to be far off. Dark getting a couple additional hatcheries. He says, you know what, regardless of what happens, I need to make something happen here. I need to get myself into that late game. I need to cut corners. I need to make sure that I don't nerf my mid game to the point by trying to stay alive. And that is really why Dark is so good. He's so good at figuring out what exact corners he can cut, what corners he cannot. But now Byun running forward. Hellbat's morphing here. We have 5 Bailings on the way, but Bailing speed is just so far away. So what does Dark do? He says, okay, I got to counterattack. Lang's going to have to find their way. The wall is up. Oh, Byun had a Marine on it. This is exactly what Dark needs to get back into his game. Marine or Ling's into the natural and the third base. Byun steaming on home. 4 SCV is the only things to die thus far, as Marine's going to try to deal with everything. 1-1 is done. So actually, this is going to minimize damage. It's going to be less than Dark would have liked to get, but even still, 11 workers go down. Byun finds himself below, and he's actually going to get more because Byun is not dealing with Marines that are still kind of left in this mineral line. He did notice that they were still there, I guess, so 15 workers die, and well, this has not quite mitigated the damage that Dark took in the early game. It's brought bad Dark so far back into this game. Now his upgrades are slow. He's forgot he does not have the money for Carapace just yet. He's got +1 melee on the way. He's got a Hydra Den on the way. Bailey speed will finish. That's the big deal. It was looking like Byun was going to be able to hit a timing when there were like 5 Banelings on the field, no Baneling speed, which Byun, I think, would have just won the fight, maybe even won the game. But Dark forced Byun back, knocked down 16 SCVs. And now, 1-1 on the way for Dark. And that's still an advantage that Byun will have for quite a while, where he will have 1-1 is, yeah, you don't want to run into that one there, Dark. That's still an advantage that Byun will have for quite a while, where his 2-2 is going to be up, not before 1-1, but he's going to be up a set of upgrades, really, for the majority of this game. That's going to be something. So now Byun looks like he's getting ready for the push once again. How many barracks does he have? Is he on 5? He's on 5. He's not adding 7, 8, 9 just yet. So his production is not quite where it wants to be. But he's got plating done, so these Hellbats are going to be rather nice. Do we have Widow Mines on the field? We have 1. Generally, you get plating if you're going Widow Mines, and with the second factor going down, I think that's what's going to happen. A couple of the additional barracks on the way as well. There we go. Reactored out Widow Mines. Byun with a drop here, and this drop is not going to... Oh, he's going to actually be able to deny a base. Nice job there, Byun. Perfect timing. Finding the 12 o'clock base, and yeah, Dark just canceled that one. But the bigs around there, Byun is going to lose 2 Marines, but he gets a couple Banes, gets some Lings, cancels the 5th base. 6th base, actually, yeah. He's going to cancel the 6th base of Dark. But Hive already on the way for Dark here. I say already. It's 9 minutes in. I mean, this is a standard Hive timing, but considering how far behind, how much damage Dark took, he lost, I think, about 20 drones. 20 drones from the push, and then he lost the 1 extra from that base. Considering Dark lost 20 drones from the Hellion Banshee play, the fact that he's any way, shape, or form in this game is stupid impressive, and it really is all down to that run by. If that run by doesn't happen, if Byun was able to hit that timing with 1-1 that he wanted to hit, I think Dark dies. But Dark recognizing that, well, okay, you can only push if you can push. Dark forced Byun back, and now his creep spread starting to get a little bit scarier. He's got his extra bases. He's going on up to 6 bases here as Byun tries to take his 5th. This next push from Byun is going to be scary. It is 2-2 versus 1-1. And that's not to be taken lightly here. So the army runs forward. Zerglings, they're shirking around, but that 6th base is just going to get canceled. Dark also not going to be able to get one on the north side because the drop is there, and this drop is... The Hydras are going to be able to deal with that. Okay, well, actually, no. The Marines are going to be good enough. No, okay, the Hydras are going to be able to knock that down for the most part. Byun forced back. He's got a drop that he wants to go into the main base here, and Dark is not really reacting to this all that much. He got a couple... No, those queens are just for injects. Dark's army entirely on the map, so Byun's found a little bit of an opening here. Yeah, there are a couple queens. Like those queens, they're going to die pretty quickly. It is 2-2 bio, so queens getting targeted on down. The target fire, or the transfuse from Byun. Far from Dark, really not all that great. Here come more and more lings, but it's still 2-2 versus 1-1. These Marines are incredibly cost efficient. A couple Marines will fall at the end of the day, but nice job from Byun finding some sort of value and now dropping into the 4th base. All right, so now Byun pushing through the middle of the map. He's maxed out. He's got 2-2, 3-3 on the way, but this timing is really what he wants to hit. Lurkers are on the way, and they do not have range. Lurker speed was the first upgrade because Dark says, okay, Byun, you're heavy multitasking player. I need to be able to reposition my lurkers appropriately. But Byun doesn't really want to move in just yet. How many ghosts does he have on the field? None. Ghosts are just now getting started here. He's got 15 Widow Mines, and we're going to start to see those. He's not going to keep replacing those. Widow Mines are nice, and they're nice in the mid game, but once lurkers grow up, Widow Mines are just kind of pointless. So looks like Byun says, okay, I gotta wait. I got my 5 bases. In fact, I have a really nice pushing base too. But with lurkers out here, yeah, it's not really gonna work out for me. So 3-3 is gonna be done soon. More and more ghosts are on the way. He's on double factory, so we should see him move to double tech lab on that. Move to a bunch of tanks or something. That tends to be rather nice. This round, yeah, he's gonna get a couple lings, but rather inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. Is actually Dark, he's been trading rather well. So Widow Mines are going to burr here. Widow Mines, Banelings are going to, not a lot of Banelings remain out of this fight. It's only 16, and Byun's going to target a lot of them down. Dark losing another base here. Drop on the right side is going to find a little bit. 3 workers go down. And this drop is going to be dealt with by queens for the most part. Medevac's got to get out. Byun rotting on the center of the map, but if there's something that Dark has taught us, all it takes is just one Nidus. One Nidus turns the game around. Byun, he's going to be able to react to it eventually, but it's only Ghost right now. So lurkers into the main. Second Nidus popping up, but Byun pushing into the other side. No, okay, actually, no, there are a decent amount of Banelings in this army. Marauders at the front, Marines behind, Ghost kiting backwards. Still plenty of Banelings in that army. Meanwhile, lurkers in the main base. 4 of them here. Ghost is going to snipe them down as well as they can. 1 lurker dies. Second one falls. Lings, though, in there. Cancel the snipes. 3rd Nidus drops out here. More and more Lings in the main base. This is starting to be a checkmate position here for Dark. Byun needs to bring his entire army back, and he's just going to be so damn slow. Some of the production for Byun is starting to go down. Yeah, the Ghosts are not dying just yet, but Banelings come rolling on the forward. Good target fire there from Byun. But the lurkers are pretty much undefended. 3 Nidus popping out stuff at the same time. Banelings come rolling on forward. Snipes go down, but no, they don't. They get canceled once again. But it looks like finally Byun is going to be able to force this army back. The lurkers die. Dark's supply is maybe not the best spot, but Lings into every single base right now. Dark's trying to capitalize on the chaos that he has created. But there's a planetary. I mean, Lings don't kill a planetary. Lings now, there we go. They're going to find their way to a mineral line. 11 workers will go down, make it 15, make it 18. Now the Lings come rolling on out. But this was a fantastic move from Dark in this game. Now, Dark seems a little bit larva starved. Yeah, only 7 larvae on the field right now. Big Widow Mine is going to kill off a lot of these Lings. A little bit larva starved for the moment is Dark. Can't really build the army that he would like, but he's got enough lurkers defensively. I mean, we talked about the Widow Mine count going down. Well, they've been obnoxious as hell. I've killed off so many of the Lings that Dark ran back across the map with. But now Byun understands. He says, I got to keep stuff in my main base. I have to keep an army in my main base. Nidus are on the field. Now, this Nidus is good snipe there from Byun. He's going to shut down the threat for just a little bit. That means he can maybe pull the army out of his base for a little bit. But Widow Mines killing off so many Lings. And there we go. There's the burrow. But good scan. You don't want to run through that choke, though. That is death. And that is death in the world's ending. So here come the Lings running forward. Ghost from the left side. Byun trying to make something happen. And actually, because Dark was so larva starved, Byun has found himself a really nice supply lead here. Ghost is going to get, or so many lurkers are going to get sniped down. Lurker eggs as well. Once again, Dark's going to lose this north side base. And again, he does not have a lot of larva. His bank has actually been reset here as well. He's not really been able to build the army that he wants to build, so he's been losing it piecemeal. So what does Dark say? Okay, another Nidus. I gotta find another way to force Byun back home. Lings on the way as well. These are +3 Lings. They do have Adrenal. They kill things rather quickly, but there's just enough ghosts. Ghost 2-shot Lings. It's not really gonna work out. This Nidus is just, well, there's nothing in it. It's just gonna go down. There we go. Snipes down on the Overlord as well. So Byun now, he's maxed out. Dark trying to find his way back there. His economy is decent, not incredible. Yes, he does have 82 workers, but he's long distance mining from a lot of them. Functionally, he's on 5 bases at 16 minutes in. And Byun, well, he's not forcing the late game. We're not seeing that massive mech transition because he thinks he can kill Dark right now. Or in the next minute or so. Or maybe actually a better way to say in the next several minutes. But regardless, he feels like he can kill Dark before Dark gets to the point where he is unkillable. And also, Dark has lost a lot of resources. This is heavy trading. Dark has not been able to build the economy that he needs to actually go and say, build up to that mass broodlord count that looks so unstoppable on Data C. So now the army on the right side of Byun, it really is just a distraction for us. He wants to kill that base, but more importantly, he needs to deny these outlying bases that Dark continues to try to take, and he will, in fact, do the same once again. Lurker's running forward, looking for the burrow. Hot pickup here, but actually a lot of ghosts are going to get snuffed, or going to get snaffled up, I guess. That's not really a word. EMP is on the Overseers, but that's not really, you don't really EMP an Overseer. But this is about, Dark is about time. His bank is still not incredible. Byun's is still much better. But Dark has been able to max out once again. Snipes go down, and the spores everywhere make it really hard for Byun to really get the snipes off. He just doesn't have the benefit of a cloak, but even still, a couple more lurkers will fall. And again, Dark just struggling to get the bases that he would like. So now Lings come forward. Lurkers will burrow. One ghost just died. Byun continues to trade better and better. The army of Dark continues to just trade its supply away. So Dark running onto the other side of the map. Night is going down here as well. Liberator sieging up the position. And Byun has to find a way once again to rotate on home. This is a very much a Hail Mary play from Dark. He is not really going to be able to replace this lurker count super easily. He's going to knock down. Okay, he's got a couple of the barracks to start. He knocks down an extra orbital. Is now Liberator sieging up every which way. We're looking at, this is 21 lurkers. This is a lot. This is a significant lurker count coming in from Dark. Where are we? We're still on 19 ghosts. Now Bailey's run forward, and ghosts continue to snipe the lurkers down. But here come more Banes, and the entire goal of it's just a snipe. It is just to force cancels on the snipes. So 16 SCVs have died. This is a fantastic. This is starting to get some significant value from Dark, but he does need more Baileys. They're sitting there, they're like, oh god, Liberators every which way. We got to be very, very careful about where we move. But now Liberator's going to siege up where the lurkers are, where the Baileys are, and again running forward, snipes down on the Overseers, and now, oh, you just cloak up. This is not a fight that Dark has to be very careful about now right now, because the ghosts cloak up, they're going to kill things. Bailey's rolling right side, good splits, and yeah, a couple ghosts go down, but not nearly enough. The lurkers in the natural are obnoxious. Sure, they're not obnoxious enough, and now Ghost looking for those snipes. And now in Dark, he's just fighting a running battle here. He's got to try to find as much value as he can before he loses all of these lurkers. There we go, snipes going down, lurkers running away, and they're dead. Dark again, he's mining a little bit more right now because Byun has had to lift up a lot of these bases. Is only on 56 SCVs, but Byun, well, actually, I was gonna say Byun has a big bank. He just spent it all. He's maxed out once again. Ghosts are gonna look to snipe on the lurkers. Lurkers get a couple shots, but there's just not enough good flanks there from Byun. What's our lurker count at? It's now down to 9 from 21. Again, Dark loses the base. Byun aware of the base on the north side as well. Marauders run forward, trying to get another lurker. They will do so. And Byun gonna looking to move up the ramp here. Liberators, they say, yeah, we don't really care about this base right now. It does not matter, though. Byun pushes through. Dark looked unbeatable in the late game. Byun did not let him get there. In game number 5, folks, your champion, 2 weeks running for an A. It's Byun.